For many anglers, fall bass fishing can be a real grind. They're struggling to locate fish and they're struggling to catch fish. And to make matters even worse, guys like me are on the internet making video after video talking about how great fall bass fishing really is. I'm catching a lot of bass and I'm catching good sized ones. I get comments about it all the time. Lowbrow, I'm just not seeing what you're seeing. Lowbrow, no matter what I do, all I get is skunk, no matter what lures I throw or where I'm fishing. I've even had a few comments say, Lowbrow, if I was standing next to you in your boat, you could show me what I'm doing wrong. Well, the truth of the matter is, you're every bit as good of an angler as I am. You don't need me to fix this. That's very flattering, but you can figure this out all on your own. But that did inspire me to make a different kind of video. Today, we're going to take the old Arthritis Express out on the big lake, and you'll get to see firsthand the kind of things that I go through on any typical day out on the water. I'm going to show you where I'm fishing and why, and some of the lures and presentations that I'm using, and we're going to talk about how I interpret the conditions that I'm seeing. But bear in mind, when I recorded this video, all this footage, it was extremely windy, and despite my best efforts, a lot of that did bleed over into the video itself. I apologize for that, but it should not be bad enough that it's going to be hard for me to be understood or interrupt the video in any way. So let's go ahead, head out on the water, and I'm going to show you what a typical day fishing out on the big lake is like for me and the good old Arthritis Express. Welcome back to Lowbrow Fishing, and today is a little bit different kind of video. Today I want to spend all day in this boat, so I want you to come with me. You know, a lot of guys ask me, they say, Lowbrow, when can I go fishing with you? And hopefully that's something that's going to start happening soon. But for right now, I want to bring you with me in this boat, show you what I'm doing from the moment I put the boat in the water, why I'm fishing the places that I'm fishing, how I'm interpreting what I'm seeing on the water, whether it's the conditions, the water clarity, the sun in the sky, any of that, how I break that down, not only to determine where I'm fishing, but the lures that I'm using when I'm out there. But before we get started, if you like what I'm doing here, click that subscribe button down below. And while you're down there, give this video a like. It really does help the channel grow, and I appreciate it so much. And if you have a minute, head on over to patreon.com and check out my members page. It's where I post videos that I don't post here. More personal videos, videos that have to do with me refurbishing this old boat, or polls that I do for my channel members. So if you like that kind of thing, head on over, check it out. The link is in the description. So let's go ahead, get out on the water. Let's go ahead and put the boat in. I'll show you exactly where I started, why I started there, and we're going to move throughout the day looking at some of the places that I'm eyeballing. And this is not just for boat anglers. Sure, I can get out over deep water. I like fishing deep water sometimes. I have my graphs that help me break that down. But at heart, I'm always going to be a shallow water fisherman. I'm always going to be that guy who is a bank angler at heart. It helps me adjust to the conditions. I know where I'm comfortable at. I know the places that I like to frequent and the places that I have confidence in and I have success with. So a lot of that is from being an old school bank angler. So just because I have this boat doesn't mean I'm going to be straying far from the bank. And today is no exception. So let's go ahead, jump right into it. Let's go to when I first put the boat in the water and start from there. Now we've just got the boat in the water. Just came out here on the lake, and I'm actually still very close to the boat ramp. But we've had a good wind coming out of the north that way for about a week now, which has got the current flowing strong. That means all the phytoplankton and all the bait fish are going to be grouped up in this area. So I'm going to graph through here, and I'm already seeing stuff on this graph. This is a little bit deeper water because we're so close to the boat ramp, and they keep it dredged out for all the boat traffic. So just because you got a boat and you put it in the water, that does not mean you have to go racing across the lake. stop and check where you are. Look at the conditions. If they say, hey, put it in the water and go around the boat ramp, then do that. That's what I'm seeing here, so that's what I'm going to do. And a lot of times, especially this time of year, I can get quite a few bites as that boat ramp warms up because the sun is baking down directly on it and radiates the heat out of the water. I'm just seeing a perfect condition where I can catch some bass in this area, so that's what we're going to do. All right. It is windy today. There we go, first cast. Holy cow. Come here, you, very first cast. He's not a giant, and he's already lost his summer color, but that tells me I'm on the right track. That tells me I'm on the right track. Yeah, a little half pounder. Let's see what else is in this area. If he's here, that means other fish are here. All right, buddy, appreciate that. Thank you. Now here, right by the bank, we've got all this flooded brush. There used to be bushes all up along this bank, all the way through here. And as a matter of fact, in some older videos, and I'm going to put it up right here where you can see it, when I used to fish the bank through here, there was all those bushes through there. Well, they cut them down and they put them in the water. They just put the clippings out on the water. Well, that can be a great place whenever you've got the current blowing in this direction, which we currently do. I'm going to work a spinnerbait through here. I've got this chartreuse spinnerbait, and I've just got a Rage swimmer for the trailer, a small one. This is a 3.25 inch. And I'm just working through here. Now, I could parallel the bank and cast like that and work right by those brush piles. I can certainly do that, and you can get a lot of effective work from that. You can get a lot of good bites doing that. However, the one thing that I would be missing if I was doing that is being able to work behind those brush piles. So a lot of times I want to make casts on the back side of those brush piles if I don't get my spinnerbait stuck. Work in those areas, and you're going to have to get close. Don't be afraid to get your bait close into that flooded brush, because the bass are going to be hanging pretty tight to that, especially if there's some sun out. So I'm working back behind it, and I want to bring that spinnerbait over and through it. And I'm going to be doing that all the way down this bank as the wind and the current push me. We've had pretty good wind today. It's been very, very windy. Now you could also work this with something like a jig would be great. A wacky worm would be great, you know. But I'm working all through this flooded brush, slow rolling a spinnerbait, and I'm pretty much dragging the bottom. I'm going that slow. So all the way down through here, we've got all these brush piles that go all the way down, and I'm going to be working them that way. And again, if you are a bank angler, a place like this can be gold, because as you can see, bank anglers could easily make those casts, and there's plenty of places all up and down this bank. I see anglers miss spots like this. Bank anglers just completely ignore it. They're only looking for places where they can just bomb their lure way out into the deep. Well, I'm actually fishing pretty shallow, so I'm going to be working through here. And I'm telling you what, I've had a lot of success working places like this. So, and I'm just going super, super slow. We're in about 8 feet of water here. We've got some good stain to the water, and I want to work behind that brush pile. And again, I'm just going super slow. I am literally dragging that spinnerbait across the tops of that vegetation down there. I can feel it, and I might as well be working it like a jig. But I can completely work all the way through here. Again, making casts up to the bank, because you're going to find that the bass are going to be they're going to be attracted to these sorts of areas. We have stained water, we've got current, we've got structure and cover for them to hide on. It's just going to be warmer. That dark water is going to absorb heat more. So if you see a place like this, do not be afraid to work it pretty thoroughly. This is going to be the kind of place where if you kind of want to stop and make a few casts. Now, I can turn the trolling motor on and just kind of burn through it, but I really don't want to. This is kind of a place that I really would like to pick apart. So that's what I'm going to do, and if you see something similar to this, something like this on your fishery, I'm telling you, this can be a great place to get some bites on those really, really tough days. All right. Now, you see right up here along the bank, we've got that busted up concrete. There used to be a pier that came out here years and years ago in another cabin that was here, but they have since demolished it. And you have all that concrete, that broken chunk concrete that's baking in the sun, and that is putting warmth in the water. So that's definitely going to be a place that I'm targeting. Also, we have this seawall, this retainer wall, and this is going to be another place. It's got cover, it's got structure, it's got warmth, and the current is flowing right through here. So this is going to be the kind of place that we definitely want to target. And obviously, bank anglers are going to have as much of an opportunity in places like this as anybody working a boat. And that's what I'm trying to stress. These are going to be your high percentage areas during the fall, especially as it gets colder and colder. I can look down and I can see there's fish on my sonar. I can see that there's bass in the area. And we're not but in 3 feet of water right here. So, and this is going to get more and more shallow as they put the lake on drawdown. But again, these pockets warm up quickly and they stay warm, which is very, very important to the bass. Also, when you have bass that are migrating, going from out deep, up shallow, this is going to be a waypoint. This is going to be the kind of place where they stock. You can catch several fish off of it. It will repopulate later, and then you can come back and catch more fish. So if you see a place like this on your lake, on your fishery, target it. This is going to be one of the prime areas that you definitely want to fish, especially if you have current and the weather is getting colder. Now, just a few feet away from that chunk, from all that broken concrete, you can see the water gets pretty deep pretty fast. It has gone down and now we're in a deep part of that channel. This is exactly what I was talking about. These are the types of places that you're looking for. Now, I can scan in here, but I will find a tire, a piece of stump, a rock, or whatever, and that's what the bass are going to be set up on in these type of deeper pockets, back in these creek arms, in the first third and in the middle third, and moving back more as we move into the fall. This is definitely another type of place you want to check. And again, we're right next to the bank. You can make casts pretty much from either side and work this water. There we go, I got him. Oh, that's a good one. Stay down. Oh, he was right up under that piece of wood, right where he was supposed to be. That's not a bad fish. That's a good fish. That's a really good fish. That's a big bass. Well, he's not huge, but he's nice. Certainly a nice fish. All right. And he is warm. This bass, I barely had him. That bass is warm, and he's 1 3/4 pounds, not quite 2 pounds, but he's a good 1 3/4 pounds. Got him on that Waco rig, and he was exactly where he was supposed to be, along this bank. And he's warmer than the other fish I've been catching because he's in that warmer water. I'm telling you, right there up under that wood, that's exactly where he was supposed to be. So we sure do appreciate it. We sure do appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much. Now go tell your grandma. Tell her free boat rides and snacks. Let's see if we can't do that again. So was that helpful? Because now you see firsthand when I'm talking about fishing a brush pile and using something like a spinnerbait. You can use so many things through there. You can use poppers, you can use worms, you can use jigs, but it's a great place to work, and I showed you why. Also, we're talking about the chunk concrete, why I'm fishing that and why it can be so successful. And we even caught a few bass right up against that wooden retaining wall, another place that I like to work. So I'm hoping this style of format of these videos will really help you out. This is kind of what I want to do moving forward. Not only do I want to be educational, but I would like to have some entertainment value in there as well. So thanks for coming along with me during this boat ride. Let's do it again real soon. So there you have it. That's a typical day in the fall when I'm bass fishing. And it doesn't have to be the big lake. Pretty much any lake that I'm going to. As I've said before, I'm preparing before I go. I'm looking at Google Earth and I'm looking at the maps that I need to, and I'm checking the weather. And then when I get out to the lake, I put that together with the conditions that I'm seeing and head from there. I hope this different kind of video was helpful for you, and I plan on making more like this as we move along. Thanks for watching Lowbrow Fishing. We'll catch you in the next one.